That's about it. It's going to be a bitch, but I'll get it. It's whether or not I get it today. Good morning, YouTube and the internet. Today I've got to stop saying at the start of every video, but I've also got to get under the car and inspect the drive shaft. Now the front uni on the drive shaft I think is buggered. It makes a knocking sound when you drive it as you load it up. The proximity of it is about where the front universal is on the drive shaft, where it bolts to the back of the gearbox, so I'm hoping that's the problem. I can replace the whole drive shaft for a couple $100 and my time, so that's the way forward. The only problem with that is I did look at it before I got off the trailer when I first bought it. To get access to the drive shaft, I've got to remove the exhaust, because the exhaust runs down the centre below the drive shaft. So step one is get under it and see how I can get the exhaust off, then see how I can get the drive shaft out. Well, first I'll inspect the drive shaft, make sure it is that universal and not some other problem. So I've gone and put axle stands under it, but I've also got the ramps under here just as a double safety precaution, because the ground's not perfectly level. So if an axle stand was to slip, it's going to sit on the ramp. Because I've got to get it quite high to get under there, because it's a son of a bitch to get under. So I'll take you down there now. The universal, the front universal is up in there, which you can barely see. The exhaust bolts on up there, and we can see we're missing a bolt up there, so I think that's probably our exhaust leak. And you probably can't see, but up in there. So twin pipes, and we've got some sort of I don't know, vacuum sensor, exhaust sensor, I don't know. So H pipe in there, so it means I can't separate them. And we've got the rear, geez, that light's diffusing in there quite badly. The rear flanges, so that whole segment has to come out in one piece, from the downpipes all the way back to that flange. So we've got the two lots of brackets and then the flanges holding everything in. Now if I can't get this one off, there is a hose clamp up here and a rubber hose, so I'll be able to also determine what that is by following that if I care to. Alright, so it's a bastard. I've got two extensions on my ratchet to get on for this one up here. I don't know if I can get them yet. I might need the breaker bar. Oh, okay, that one's cracked. Let's not undo that too much, because that'll just load up the other ones. This one's going to need a universal. Deep socket, universal, and then double extension bar to get up there. And we'll see how we go. Obviously lose a lot of torque when you change direction. Oh, I can get that under that. That'll work. That'll work. Okay, let's try that. Jesus. Oh. Alrighty. How easy is that? Now the other side. First things first, we snapped the stud out of the exhaust. Now it would have come undone, but someone was learning how to use a universal joint and didn't pull it straight and bent the stud, meaning it had no chance of getting off without snapping. We got the rest off. I got the rest off without snapping any. This here, I have tried to undo this, and I had the spanner and I had my entire body, you know, like two hands pushing, and it slipped, it spun around, and I punched the underside of the car with the spanner on the inside and my other hand pushing it with like the power of Zeus, and all but broke my finger. So I'm going to give up on that. I'm just going to undo the hose clamp at the front because it hurts. Oh Christ, it hurts. Now, the other good news that I've got is while I was under it here, I reached back here and tried to jiggle the drive shaft, and hear that? That is a flogged out centre bearing. In fact, there's pretty much none of the bearing left. That's the noise. I thought it might have been the front uni because of where it was relative to the shifter in the car, but my original thought when I bought the car, he played me a video of it taking off, and I heard, without the rubbery sound from inside the car, it just sounds like a thud. And I thought to myself, that sounds like a centre bearing. That's what it is. I don't know why I couldn't get it to move when I was under the trailer. I did try and push on the drive shaft. I think I tried to get up in here or one of these other around the sides. I couldn't get any play, so I figured it wouldn't be it, but now I'm under here now, it's up nice and high and I'm clear. It's pretty obvious. So the universals may actually be fine. The job is still the same. I've got to drop the exhaust, drop the drive shaft, and then I can pull off the centre bearing, replace that by itself without having to replace the entire drive shaft, and then the car is drivable. Now, while we're here, you can also have a look. I don't know if you've seen in the other shots, all of the oil that's on everything under here. Now, it's a mixture of engine oil and build up of grease, and I also think some power steering fluid. I'm going to have to go through everything and find at least half a dozen oil leaks in this car. It's quite a lot of oil. Now, if I can clean it up to get it past roadie without necessarily finding every leak, I'll be okay with that for the time being. I will have to fix all the leaks over time, but to get the roadie done and get the rego transferred into my name, I need to have it clean because they look for leaks. Now, the other thing I found is down there, just up on the radiator support in front of you there, I found that bolt just sort of stuck wedged between a piece of plastic and the rad support. So I think that bolt is the port side variable timing cover, not variable timing, cam angle sensor cover. So just the timing cover on the port side. There's a hole there where there should be a bolt. I think that might be it. But it's never a good sign when you've got stray bolts just falling off the car. So we're not out of the woods yet with this car mechanically. So far, we haven't found anything too devastating. I'll keep working on it and I'll see where we end up. But for now, we'll get this driveline sorted, get the oil cleaned up, and hopefully we can get it registered. We'll get the rego transferred, and then we'll see what we need to do after that. These are going to be a bitch. These have been soaking for quite some time in WD. It appears to be a 13 mil, which is very strange. I am able to shove it on, so I'm going to go with that. Let's see. Oh, that's way easier than I was expecting. It was harder to get it on. I expected it to be like these ones and not want to move at all. There we go. That one's got around, isn't it? Want to go the right way? Yeah. I mean, it almost already looks like it's round. It may have been taken off before. That is not going to work. Get some more penetrant in there. This is where you need those like the brake line ones that you can get over the line and get around them. I haven't got a set of those. You very rarely need them, but when you do, you do. The nut is just so corroded, it's difficult to get on at all. Here we go. There we go, we're definitely on. And it's going around. Here. These don't work. I will have to go to multi-grips and destroy the nut, or go to heat and just try to burn off any excess penetrant penetrating fluid. So what we're trying to do is heat the outer section, the outlet, that's what it's called in piping terms, and get it to expand around the fitting that's in it. I really don't want to break this. I'd like to be able to shove this one back in it. I want to be careful I don't cook the underside of the car as well. Lefty loosey, righty tight. Ow, my fingers. Yeah, yeah, boy. It has moved 1/8 of a rotation. It seems to have seized up again, but if we can get it to move once, we can probably get it to keep moving. Might be able to use these nip-backs now, actually. No. Come on, you bastard. Let's stop before we round it. Get more heat on that, because that's working. Let's have another crack. It is rotating again. Alright, we have at least managed to crack the seal. There's something wrong with the sensor itself, doesn't seem to be loosening up. Oh, that's hot. That's the spinner I've just been using. Alright, so this should have cooled down enough by now. Where's the DVD? This turns into a 5-ball tie, just run away. No. Alright, we'll give that penetrating fluid some time. Keep moving down the car. Running out of daylight here. 2, 3. Oh, that was pretty easy. Now, I don't expect these ones to be very easy. Doing up. That went under, isn't it? Is it? Under. Okay. These are pretty rusted. And I don't think I can get the rattle gun in there. Or a socket, because these have got, obviously there used to be a box or something in here, a resonator or some sort of muffler, and they've deleted it and put these 2 pipes in, and these 2 pipes are much bigger in diameter than the hole here, so they're pointless because it just expands and then goes back down and restricts again, so there's no point in doing it. So we should restrict my ability to get anything on there. Ty, just grab me a 14mm socket, please. We'll be able to get the rattle gun in like this. Yeah, boy. On the uni. Come on, get it. Yeah. I love this tool. Ty?
Yes?
I will tell you I love this tool. If only I could buy one that would go over that. Somehow. Okay. I've got shit in my eye because I'm working under a Nissan. Because that's how Nissans go. Don't want to lay under the hot fluid. Did I get it? Yeah. Why ever bother being a bloody pleb and try and do it with sockets, with ratchets? Okay, so everything is loose except that, correct? And the hose clamps on this, whatever the fuck that is. This is not, there's something wrong here. This is all on the piss, like, and it's been rounded before by the look of it. This may be multi-grips. Where's that rag? I'm gonna go with heat again. Now you're working on a 300Z when you've got a blowtorch as a main tool. Or, you know, just know you're working on a fucking 30-year-old Japanese car. Come off, you bastard. I think it's fair to assume something's not right. You're going to go to these lengths to get something off. Oh, it's spinning. I think it's multi-grips time. Oh, it's working. See, this sensor should be independent of the nut. But it's not. Over here, see, I can rotate that freely, but not the nut. So I don't know what's happened here. This is just corroded in, or if it's the car's been bottomed out real hard on a, you know, just happened to hit that. I don't know. The tension on the sensor is not releasing. I think that's a temperature sensor. So we'll just put that up there out of the way. That's been banged up at some point. Where's that 14mm? There's a rattle gun, isn't it? Where's the rattle gun? Rattle gun, please. I bet this would be bolted to by the original exhaust pipe. I'd say that goes in here. Would be my guess. Hey, we took something off. So we've taken what, 3 hours? We got something off, and it's not what we need to get off. But I think we're free everywhere now, so we'll drop this exhaust out shortly and may be able to get started on the centre bearing. I tell you what, I will have earned my beer tonight. Okay. Let's see if we can get this hose off now. What the fuck is that on my arm? Okay, that's loose. Always rotate a hose if I can before trying to pull it off. It usually makes it easier. I'd really like to know what these hoses are for and where they go. Okay, so that's undone. That's undone. 3 of those have snapped off, so they're not going to hold any weight. Let's undo these. So there's just one. And the easiest ways to get the 2 hard ones off. Jeez, I'd like to be able to see right about now. So we've got one nut holding exhaust on at the front. Let's see if we can pry it down. Yeah, that's free. And that's free. Yeah. We've undone the hoses. We have these brackets here that are holding it on in the middle. Where does that go? Okay, cool. That's fine. And that there. Yeah. Oh, that's still hot. Not exactly sure how this is supposed to go. Oh, there we go. They just rotate out. Just letting the old axle stand in there to hold her up, because I think it should want to fall down now. No, it's hanging on that. Is that free? It is free. And it's free, but it is sitting. So these rubbers here are sitting on top of that bracket, so they are holding the load. So let's pop that back in there so it doesn't fall on my head when I undo these. Okay, it's very well balanced. So it's just sitting on that in the middle. Once I get that free, the whole thing should just fall down. Oh, that's gone back into its hole. What's holding it in? No, don't be a bastard, you bastard. That slipped into a really awkward spot over here. You won't believe what's jamming it. It's just a piece of rubber that has somehow jammed itself on the wrong side of it. I think it bolts to, and I can't get past it. Alright, so it looks like I need to move the system back at the rear, and I can't do that with these pipes in at all. So I need to take the rear ones off to get the middle section down. This is literally just sitting on two bits of steel sitting on each other here, but to clear each other they need to go back. Oh wait, what have I got to do? No. That way. It needs to go back. Oh, hang on. The front needs to release. Front's released. And now it's literally sitting on these shafts. I can't go forward. The bolt's there to get that off. What we have, where these things here, you really can't see anything. There's two little bits here that are sitting on top of the bracket. I need to push, just the whole system just needs to go back and it will fall down. I can't go back because they're in the way. I can't go down because they're in the way. I can't go forward because they're in the way. I am free at the front, I think. Yeah. Oh, hang on. If I go far enough sideways, it'll do that. It'll fall on my head. Okay, now we can get at what I need to see.